Every dog on Earth, from Great Danes to Chihuahuas, descends from wolves that wandered into a campfire light and never left. Dogs were the first domesticated animal. Humans tamed only one species during the Pleistocene epoch, roughly 10,000 years before they planted a single field of wheat. Genetic evidence traces this split between dogs and wild wolves to somewhere between 15,000 and 40,000 years ago. A severe deep freeze in Siberia around 23,000 years ago locked the landscape in ice, destroying the usual hunting grounds and likely pushing these two starving populations close together out of pure desperation. Specific ancestor of all modern dogs is gone. It was a unique population of Ice Age wolves that went completely extinct. So how did a pack-hunting wolf turn into a lapdog? For a long time, the standard story looked like a kidnapping. Early human hunters tracked down a wolf den and raised the pups to guard the camp. But a captured wolf pup grows into a captive wolf. It bites. It paces the fence line. Wolves domesticated themselves. During the Ice Age, winter was long and meat was scarce. Humans left piles of cracked mammoth bones and rotting scraps on the edge of their camps. Most wild wolves stayed away, but a few wolves had slightly lower levels of fear, and they crept close enough to eat the garbage. The wolves that tolerated human proximity got a steady diet of free calories. The ones that bolted at the snap of a twig starved in the snow. Over generations, the boldest wolves spent their entire lives scavenging human refuse, and they mated with other bold wolves. Scavenging for scraps doesn't explain how you get floppy ears and curly tails. In 1959, Dmitry Belyaev and Lyudmila Trut went to a commercial fur farm in Siberia. They bought a group of silver foxes and began breeding them for exactly one trait: tameness. To test this, they walked up to the cages wearing a heavy leather glove. If a fox bit at the wire, they removed it from the breeding pool. If a fox sat still and allowed a human hand to touch it, they kept and bred it. They bred the friendliest foxes with the other friendliest foxes. Within just a few generations, the foxes started changing physically. Their ears lost their stiffness and flopped over. Their coats developed random white spots. Their bodies changed on the inside too. The tame foxes grew smaller adrenal glands. They produced lower levels of adrenaline and higher levels of serotonin. By the 10th generation, the fox kits were whining for human attention. They wagged their tails and started reading pointing gestures from humans, just as well as dog puppies do. Selecting for one single behavioral trait triggered a massive physical chain reaction. Biologists call this package of physical changes domestication syndrome, and it all traces back to a tiny cluster of cells in the developing embryo. Scientists call them neural crest cells. As an embryo grows, these cells migrate down the spinal cord and spread across the body. They form the adrenal glands and build the stiff cartilage in the ears. They also lay down pigment cells in the skin. When you select for an animal that doesn't panic around humans, you are actually selecting for an animal with fewer or slower moving neural crest cells. The outward physical changes are just a side effect of a calmed nervous system. Fewer neural crest cells reaching the kidneys means a smaller adrenal gland. Fewer cells reaching the head means weaker cartilage, so the ears flop. Selecting strictly for friendliness completely altered the physical blueprint of the animal. This exact biological chain reaction happened to the wolves scavenging outside Pleistocene tents. They became an entirely new biological entity. A 14,000-year-old grave in Western Germany holds the bones of a man and a young dog. The dog had been severely sick. Its teeth show clear signs of a devastating viral infection that lasted for weeks. A wild wolf pup with this disease would have died in days. This dog survived for a long time, meaning someone chewed up food and hand-fed it to the animal. When it finally died, someone placed it in the exact same red clay as the humans. Ancient humans rewired a predator's neurobiology by simply throwing scraps to the least fearful scavengers at the edge of the firelight. They rebuilt them from the inside out, generation by generation, and they're still with you.